Hey, good morning, everybody from New Zealand and Hamilton in particular. And it's Saturday morning here. And we've got an interesting conversation. We're going to start our energy pulse off with. Let's do the expanding part first, and then let's have a conversation about what Anne would like more clarity around. So, expand your being. Lower your barriers, drop those barriers, destroy those barriers, and let's destroy and uncreate everything we were yesterday. Times a gazillion, right, wrong, good, bad, public, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So drop your barriers, lower those barriers, and expand your awareness deep, 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 deep down into the core, right down into the core of the earth, and expand right out into the energy of the sky. God, you can feel your body relax when you do it, man. Come in, Jim. So, Anne, you've got a question you wanted to ask.
Yes, Chrissie. So, life is complicated in the sense that you have commitments to your children, you have commitments to the government with completing tax and.
Oh, we pulled this out.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go again. I pulled it out by mistake.
No, that happens to me all the time too. and so then when you're looking at a particular business deal, everything stops, and then the focus changes, and it's a huge distraction.
Okay.
And the momentum changes.
Can you talk a little bit about the particular business deal that you're looking at?
The deal is around a vendor who's not particularly motivated. It's been on the market for a long time. They needed to sell either the business or the property. In the end, I think they came to some business arrangement. So the property's not so important now. And I've been given an idea of the price, but I haven't received the contract or the sale and purchase agreement to actually put in an offer. And so I'm just sort of hanging in there and doing more numbers and crunching things and trying to make it work. And at the same time, want to put in, something that's not an insult and something that will buy it.
Okay, so this is where everything has consciousness. So everywhere you're trying to figure it out, would you just try and create that? So this is where you talk to the property and ask it to help you. Does it want you to own it? Or actually, does it want to own you? Because in fact, properties own us. We don't own them. Does it want to own you? Ask it that, and also ask it. Yeah, did you have something to say?
Well, this would most likely be a trade. I probably wouldn't keep it. So the situation is there's a tenant in situ, and I'm not sure how to get around that, because from what I can gather, it's not vacant possession. And it is a listing, but there's nothing current to go look at. There's nothing online. And so my conversation with the agent yesterday was, is it still on the market? And trying to find out things like the body corporate rates and things like that.
Get the information.
Yeah, so that I can crunch the numbers more so. So when you say that the property owns you,
yes.
I don't quite get that.
Well, we're the ones that pay the mortgage. We're the ones that go to work, we clean it, we get people to do the stuff on it. And it doesn't have to do anything. So it owns us. And if it's going to, ask it if it wants to own you. And if it does, could it help you? to bring the information that you require. And that's the other thing, is we can actually today pull energy into, now I'm getting greater and greater awarenesses around these energies, and energy is how we create our lives. You know how I've been talking about walking around like a wealthy woman or a wealthy man?
Yep.
That's an energy that we be. And every now and then remind yourself, I'm walking around like a wealthy woman. Just remind yourself. And one of the things about energy is get the energy of what it would feel like to have purchased that property, for that deal to have gone through. And we're just playing with this, right? And we don't know how it's going to show up. So it could be this property or something better. So that you're not just stuck with having to get this one, and pull the energy. So put that energy, perceive what it would feel like to have purchased that property, and now you're moving ahead to tidy it up, or something better. And now you're moving ahead to tidy it up and either put it on the market or rent it, whatever you choose to do at the time, because you don't have to make the decision right now that you're going to trade it again.
Well, it does, because of the numbers. The numbers will dictate whether it's a trade or a hold. And right now, I don't really, because it's small, the purchasing power isn't there, so I would have to trade it, because it's only 31 square meters. It's only a one beddy, and the opportunity to have 50% isn't there for the LVR,
loan to value ratio.
Mm.
Okay, so get the energy of that having come to completion. Get the energy of what it would feel like for all of that to be come to fruition, is what the access words are.
So it's imagining the finished product. Is that what you're on about?
Well, it's an energy. You can imagine it, but it's if you can just feel like it would feel like, what would it feel like for it to all come to fruition? That would be quite exciting, wouldn't it?
Definitely.
So have that energy and put that energy in front of you. And now let's pull energy into that. So we're going to get that energy, and we're going to get lots of different energies of other things that we'd like to have in our lives. So I'm going to talk to Jim, like, get the energy, Jim, of what it would feel like to actually find the shares that are going to go up in price, and that you purchase at a lower price, and then you sell them at a higher price, at a good higher price. Now, what does that feel like when that comes to fruition? It feels, ooh, that's exciting. It's kind of like, yes, that's exciting. So get that energy and put that in front of you, and get the energy of what it would feel like to have more fun in your life as well, more adventure. So what would that feel like? What's that energy? Put that in front of you. And what would it feel like what else is it that you're asking for? Ease with your kids, right? So what does that energy feel like? Ease with your kids. There's kind of like a calmness and a peacefulness. So put that in front of you. And a harmony, like there's a kind of like a communion actually with your children. What if you could have that communion with everything and all the people that you're working with, all the agent, get that energy, and the person who's selling that property. Put communion with those people. and the property itself. Let's have communion with that. So what I've been doing this morning is I've been going around my house and I've just been saying, you know, I'm so grateful for you, and I'm so grateful for you. Have that gratitude for this property showing up in your life, and have gratitude for the fun that you're having with what you're doing. So put that energy of gratitude in front of you and pull energy into it. So from everywhere. So let's start pulling energy from everything all around the planet. Actually, and let's, well, while I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking about the Amazon jungle, the Amazon, the forests, the forests that have been burning in Brazil. So let's put the energy that they're returning back to native and that everybody is contributing. Let's put the energy of everybody in the planet contributing to the forests and to the people in the Amazon. And that the forests are going back to their native state, the beautiful rainforests. Let's put that energy in front of us and pull energy into that and expand our awareness right out over the Amazon forests. So keep on expanding out even further than what you thought you could. Keep going. So you're pulling energy from everything all over the planet out into the galaxies, and fill up that energy of fun and joy and ease with all your projects. And let's put some glory in there as well, like a million times lots of glory. Glory means exuberant expression and abundance of life. Pull energy into that, and now let little trickles go out to all the people who are looking for you. Let little trickles go out. And keep pulling energy into that, with that fun, that joy, and that glory, and the ease. And communion. Keep expanding your being right out to the universe. Now this is a way of creating your life. Just remind yourself all day long just to keep expanding your being. Am I expanded? Say to yourself every now and then, am I expanded? Am I expanded way more than I thought I could? And now start pulling energy from everything all around the planet that creates communion with all the molecules. And it's just an ask. Just say, I'm doing that. I'm just pulling energy. I'm creating connection with everything and everyone. I'm creating communion with everything. And how does that feel? I'm so grateful for you coming on this morning, Annie.
Thank you. I have to tell you, I'm not sure if you want to record this.
Okay.
It's just the affirmation from my next door neighbor who is moving to the West Coast. And I've only lived here 3 and a bit years. And she's an Aucklander and has moved around. So we're in sort of Newmarket area. And she said she'd lived in Mount Eden and Kingsland. And she affirmed to me how I, as a next door neighbor, felt her be part of the community. And no one has ever told me that before. And I was just like in tears because I'm just being myself, you know.
Yeah.
And um she's a single mom with two small boys, and she's after more space and a new opportunity. And I just thought that this is such a cool, exciting time for her. And her landlord, because again, it's a villa in flats, her landlord has lived there over 40 years. And she's saying this in front of her. And it was just so cool because the bottom line was how this all came about. My next door neighbor was looking very distressed and said, Anne, can you come over? And so I said, let me just put my bags down. And I came over and I said, April, is everything okay? And she's like, just come on in. She showed me this letter from the police where my ex-tenant who's just moved out, we believe, and I have it on good suspicion that he's gone to the police with a webcam recording of her car bumping his car, and has asked for an explanation of an accident occurring at a certain time on a certain day in our street. So she rang the police and said, how fast was I going? Where was I? And he's just, niggling again with his vehicle parked in front of her house.
Mm.
And this is the same woman that was so grateful that he's left and feeling the effects of the house clearing. So,
Wow.
yeah. And if I hadn't been asked in, none of this would have occurred. It was just really interesting, the turn of events. Yeah.
Cool. And can you teach her to ask, how does it get any better than this?
Yeah, I could.
Yeah. And not to answer it, and just to keep on asking, how does it get any better than this? And also, maybe teach her all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. She's a single mum. And
The single mom, I think she's pretty okay. I'm talking about the older woman who owns the house. So she's in her 70s, I'm guessing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
How does it get any better than this?
Yeah. Yeah. And the single mum, teach that to her as well. Why not? Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, I'm noticing like lots of serendipity things. So, what else is possible, darling? And we'll see you tomorrow morning, shall we?
Yeah, and Marilyn's on tomorrow too.
Yes, absolutely. So Marilyn will be on tomorrow, and we'll see you in the morning.
Excellent. All right.